Come on in. Let's have a chat real quick. Let's talk about our day. Good morning, everybody, everyone. First things first. Let's drop a good word while you enjoy the view of this Acura in front of me on my drive into work. You never really know what God is saving you from. Yeah, you never know what God's saving you from. I was late this morning, very, very late. I'm behind, but again, that's part of God's plan. So I don't know what He's saving me from. Could be an accident or something coming up. But in the meantime, between, let's talk about the title of my video this morning is Tyler Perry's. It's an episode of the Boondocks. Now let's talk about how I just came about. I think I heard about this Tyler Perry Boondock situation before, but what drew my interest to it was, this sexual assault shit that Tyler Perry got going on with the white guy that played in the Oval, whose character was shot off of the Oval, killed off or whatever. So that young man released text, and he's basically on a little money grab, trying to get his, you know, fair due, as he's calling it, because he felt like Tyler Perry sexually assaulted him. Now, usually I like to come with names, but all this shit is in the news or was in the news 3 weeks ago. So you guys should be familiar. If not, jump in the comments, ask questions. But anyway, Tyler Perry was all caught up in that. So everybody and their mama, they're doing their research and they're pulling up old videos. So I guess my algorithm, when it's not Keith Sweat and escaping the music shit, Remy Ma, Clarissa Shields, my algorithm go towards who is Tyler, who does Tyler Perry have kids by, and the story behind that. So, I started watching some videos and I got all the tea. Now, if you look at it, Tyler Perry's life is a big old script that he wrote himself, right? In the meantime, between time, everybody's not on that script. So you cannot mute other people. People are going to have their side of the story. So, with that being said, Gene Dale, now that Diddy will be getting off, and he spent all these months yabbing his gums, went and sat on the stand like a snitch nigga and some more shit, you know. Um, Either way, Gene Dill was talking about someone who he was with, and back in the 2000s, and Tyler Perry sent him and Pretty Boy 2 bottles of expensive wine to their table. Tyler Perry threw his shot flirting. So Gene Deal goes to say Tyler Perry's been throwing himself at men for years, flirting with men for years. And as we know, Tyler Perry used to be a big guy, and he went through this whole body transformation, little bit of lipo here, little bit of lipo there, repeatedly. And now he's on his whole Botox thing. So his face is just stuck with those little small circle cheekbones are just stuck. He has that Medea look just stuck on his face now. The permanent eyeliner, all that shit. Tyler Perry looked like a damn blow up doll for real. A man blow up doll, and that's exactly the look he's going for. But anyway, Gene Dale also talked about what piqued my interest into. Let me go finally watch this episode of the Boondocks, because I never was a Boondocks dude, I felt like it was some honesty behind it, but I felt like the Boondocks not only they say I think it showed other cultures the negative side of what black people's homes are and all this other shit. Yeah, there's some relatable shit, but not all black people. You understand what I'm saying? Just like not all white people are racist, you know? So anyway, maybe some I'm kidding. But anyway, let's but again, not all people are racist, not all black homes are safe. So I think the Boondocks, kind of gave young kids, because it was on Comedy Central and Adult Swim, it gave them a false interpretation of the black home, and then it made other cultures want to be like that because they want to be black, right? So anyway, this particular episode was aired like 13 years ago, and the creator Carl Jones, who obviously Tyler Perry despised, very creative guy. He was before his time. He sat down a year ago and did an interview and was asked questions about, Tyler Perry having that episode pulled to never be shown again. But out here in these YouTube streets, it's very YouTubeable. Okay, so if you want to watch the full episode of the Tyler Perry shit, you can go and tap in and watch it. But you will get your laughs, okay? That shit is hilarious and it's accurate. 13 years ago, they talked about baby oil, and basically it was the title of the episode, or the synopsis of the episode, is basically cross-dressing um, cult leader who uses God to hide his and to sleep with men, but he do it through a cult and through acting and yada yada yada. Anyway, this guy Carl Jones said that he worked with he when he put this episode together, came up with a lot of the cult stuff and the recorded prayer sessions and all that. Um, he said someone made it to day two of a Tyler Perry possible job, and they did all this heavy praying, and he wasn't tapped in. He was kind of looking around to see, who was praying, who was actually taking all that was being said in this prayer slash cult in. And he said that um, he didn't get a call back for the movie because I guess the room was being recorded, and that's so a lot of the things that you will see in this episode of the Boondocks. He was saying that Tyler Perry is and highly upset because it hit so close, almost identical. Certain shit was like, who told this, who leaked this. So Tyler Perry kind of looked at it like he had a mole in his cult, basically. A mole, somebody was dropping information and leaking it out to the public, y'all. That's right. It's so funny because while I was thinking about that, you guys know that Tamika Scott from Escape used to work with Tyler Perry, and he fired her, right? So yeah, because she said her work ethics wasn't there at the time, so she said she was fired by Tyler Perry. Tamika Scott had a whole gateway into the Tyler Perry studios, writing music for Tyler Perry, and fucked around and got fired. Anyway, let's talk about the cult thing. Now, Tyler Perry has a cult show out, um, Ruthless, and now the Boondocks talked about this religious cult and all this other stuff. And even on that episode, you couldn't have your cell phone. You had to denounce Ice Cube. It was just so hilarious, but at the same time, it was what the fuck is going on in these celebrities' side lives and everything like that. But the Tyler Perry one, I was laughing, but I was glued into that 22-minute cartoon because it was accurate, 100% accurate. It was Tyler Perry in the flesh. Like at that time, I guess he was heavier, but the character that Carl Jones had to use, he said that, they were like, initially they used Tyler Perry's name. They had him looking exactly the way he looked, Medea looking the way she looked. So they had to do minor tweaks, change the name around. Then they tried to go around and use Tyler Perry's birth name, which is Emmett, and all this other crap. And they snuffed that out, Cartoon Network, and they had to ended up using the name that they use. Now they changed the guy to this muscular whatever, but now Tyler Perry is a tall, muscular type guy now. He body done by Juke. He probably was the one who told Drake where to go get his body done. You know, but either way, watch. I don't want to drag it out any longer. And spoiler alert here, spoiler alert there. For those of you who have not watched this 13-year-old Boondocks whatever situation, but yo, get behind it, watch it, laugh, and open your eyes a little bit. Forget what Monique said. One thing about it, I don't get behind Tyler Perry's movement with the whole, you know, cult type thing. People better praise him in the name of Jesus. You know, um, I don't get behind that. That's just too much for me. Always have, always will be. And yeah, anyway, y'all have a beautiful, magnificent day on purpose. And when I come back this evening, we're going to talk about Love and Hip Hop Atlanta because it came back like a hot mess where it left off. Basically, Scrappy and his hoe of a new baby mama, and all of them attacking Bambi, the Bam, because maybe they are hating on the Bam a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Now, at first, I was like, Bambi, what are you doing? But, maybe they are hating on the Bam a little bit. And Spice, who they said, her ex said her underwear is spicy and said the sis got a little aquarium down there. Says she growing shrimp, fish. Um, what's the one song? Old girl got fish head and okra. They said that kitty cat smell like fish head down there. That's the fishiest part of the fish, right? When you use the fish head to make soup with, make the soup very, very fishy. And maybe that's why she smell like fish because she eats so much fish. Because that is a possibility. If a woman eat a lot of seafood, they'll, you're gonna get that little, you're gonna start smelling like it a little bit, So you gotta cut that seafood out of your diet, or you're gonna smell like a seafood salad. You understand? So you got to get that seafood out your diet, ladies, if it's causing that kitty cat to smell like it. Now, you know the difference between fish being in your diet heavy and pH balance being off for a little bit of extra cheese on that taco. So if you don't know the difference, you got to learn it, ladies. Soak that kitty cat in a little bit of, you know, vinegar. And fellas, y'all too. You know what I'm saying? Don't want to leave. I mean, y'all, hopefully you're not soaking kitty cat. But yeah, it's hot outside. You gotta, you know what I'm saying, at least It wings the wings in the motor. You understand? Like, don't think these ladies want to be going down there and smell piss and mustard in your boxes, you know. So fellas, y'all need to go and check yourself too. Baths are necessary, and I think it's summer everywhere in the world. So y'all need to really get y'all's hygiene together. Whether it's fish, I would rather have fish in my diet and smell a little fishy than just smell a little fishy because your turnover between sex partners ain't long enough. You understand what I'm saying? Or because as a man you ain't pulling that skin back. If you have it, you just think you just dirty, you just funky. You understand? Then y'all want women to go down there and do those things? Man, please get out of here. Crazy, 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 crazy. Anyway, have a good day on purpose and come back so we can discuss love and hip hop this evening. Be easy.